Guys, welcome back. Okay, right. Boy, do I have a story to tell today. For the past 24 hours, I have been sat in A&E right here in Ghana. Now, before some of you start thinking, I wonder what happens, I wonder what happens. Everything is fine now, everything is cool, it's all irie, but the weekend has not been a great one, honestly. Oh, and I have to say, it wasn't me that actually went to hospital. It was one of my children ended up having to be rushed to hospital. I'm not going to necessarily go into the ins and outs of what it was, but I can tell you this: it was not COVID. It was nothing to do with COVID, if that's what you're thinking. It was a separate issue. So one of my children had to be rushed to hospital. He wasn't feeling well in the morning, and yeah, we just ended up having to rush to hospital and just get him checked out, basically. But he's fine now, he's recovering, he's back at home, everything is brilliant. But the reason for making this video is not just to come and tell you like, oh, this sorrowful story. That's not the reason for the video. The reason that I wanted to do this video is because, honestly, when your child is sick in Ghana, it is one of the hardest things that you will ever have to deal with, because it is a terrifying experience. I'm not joking. It really is a terrifying experience, because there are so many things that go through your head. You know, all the horror stories that you get about, you know, people haven't gone to hospital, they've had an operation, they've cut off the wrong leg, or, I mean, yeah, it happens. Let's be real, it happens. It can happen anywhere, in any country, but it happens, you know. And so there's like, even though I did have a lot of confidence about being here in case anything happens, in case of one of us getting sick and having to go to hospital, even though I did have confidence in that, your confidence is really tested when you're actually in that situation. So this weekend I was put into that situation. Oh my God. All I can say is that my emotions have been like this, all over the crashing into each other, all over the place, honestly. Because, you know, when you hear that someone's sick and you have to take them to hospital, you get like a, how can I put it? There's like a strength that comes on you. Like, you feel like, okay, we're gonna deal with this, and you go. And it's only at the end, when everything calms down, you kind of crash. And it just then, at that point, that's when everything feels overwhelming. So yesterday, when we were leaving hospital, I just completely broke down in tears, because I had 24 hours of being inside the hospital and not really being able to necessarily do anything. And so kind of like feeling helpless, I guess. And so it was really tough. It was really tough to handle. It was not something I'd ever like to experience again. But that's me speaking as a mother. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard. So yeah, so anyway, I'm digressing a bit. The reason for making this video is because I wanted to just share my experience with you. Okay, so I went to a hospital. I've been to this hospital before when my son had an accident a long time ago, and he ended up falling down and having a cut across his head here, and so we took him to a hospital. This is when we first discovered the hospital, and the hospital I'm talking about is called Bloom. It's on the Lagos Avenue in East Legon. And honestly, I have nothing bad to say about the hospital at all. Honestly, like, I was falling apart, and these guys just made me feel so relaxed. I can't tell you. I mean, as relaxed as I possibly could be, you know, with someone who's got a sick child. My stress levels were up here, and they just helped me bring it down just a little bit, because they just reassured me that everything was going to be fine. Okay, this is not a big thing, this is a minor thing, you know, we can handle it, we just need to do X, Y, Z. And so that kind of like brought me a lot of confidence. But man, before I walked through those doors, I was a mess. I'm not gonna lie, I was a hot mess, because we went very early in the morning. And so basically what it is, when we got to the hospital, they admitted him into like the place where they do have the it's like the A&E kind of part. I mean, when I say A&E, the reason I'm holding back on saying A&E is because it's like, you know, there's not loads of people with their legs falling off and stuff like that. It's just a place. So you go and sit in this, they take you to this place, and they do like the first examinations of what's wrong. And so he was like lying on the bed there, and so I was with him and stuff. And the doctor came very quickly, actually very quickly, because that's the one thing that you hate, is having to go to hospital and someone's in like pain, and there's no one around to kind of help or to relieve that pain. But they relieved the pain. That was the first thing they did. They relieved the pain straight away. Like within 30 minutes, he was painless. He was absolutely painless. So that brought a lot of comfort to me. The doctor explained everything to me very carefully. He answered every single question that I had, all my fears, all my concerns, everything. Every question was met with an answer, and I'm so grateful for that. And the other thing that they did that I think is absolutely amazing, and I wish more hospitals would do this, was that they didn't ask us for a penny before they started treatment. They just started treatment. They didn't ask me anything to do with money. That was never even brought to the table. In fact, it was me, and I was like, what's my bill going to be, please? How much is this, please? If they wouldn't have even mentioned anything until the end. And to be honest with you, when someone is sick, the last thing you're thinking about is money. You don't care about the money. Even if they present you with a bill of $100,000 or whatever at the time that the person is sick, you don't care. That is the furthest thing from your mind. It's only afterwards that you're like, can I pay? You know, so that was like a complication that was not there. So they really made me feel at ease in that respect. But like, the staff were amazing. The hospital was clean. You know, you guys know I'm a germaphobe, right? You know that I'm a germaphobe. The hospital was clean. There was nowhere that I felt like, I didn't want to sit here, I don't want to touch that or anything. It wasn't like that. I mean, my mind was somewhere else, but honestly, when you're a germaphobe, right, it goes with you everywhere. That thing goes with you everywhere. But this time around, oh no, it didn't happen like that at all. So I felt very relaxed. He was lying in the bed, and I just sat with him, and the nurse was so attentive. Man, do you know what? I can't even remember the nurse's name because I was somewhere else. But the nurse that I had was so fantastic, honestly. When my son was even crying, she was like, please don't cry, okay? If you cry, you're going to make me cry too, so please don't cry. And even her saying that triggered something in me. I wanted to cry because I thought, oh, she's being so nice. Why is she being so nice? And so I just wanted to cry. So it was like that. But she was so attentive. Every time I called her, even if she was doing something else, she would come straight away. Man, if I could give this hospital 11 out of 10 for what they did that day, I would. Like, honestly, they were absolutely brilliant. The hospital is very child friendly. They have the inside of the hospital has got like all these children's pictures on the walls and stuff like that. So you don't feel like I'm in a hospital. You know, that whole sickly smell when you walk into a hospital, and it feels like people are dying all around. It didn't feel like that. It actually felt really nice, and we were just like in this bubble. And then afterwards, once everything was stable, he was moved into a private room, and he had a TV and everything. And so, I mean, obviously he was still in some level of pain, but it was okay. It felt like, this is okay. Like, we are dealing with this, because we were able to be away from anyone being able to kind of see us once they put us in the private room, and they would come and check very often. There was always someone around. I didn't really have to get up and go and look for someone. Oh, where's this person? Blah, blah, blah. No one had an attitude. You know when you hear those stories of people saying, oh, I went to hospital and I tapped the nurse, and the nurse was like, why did you wake me up? None of that. They were attentive. Even it was one point, it was like around 1 a.m. or something like that. Like, everybody, like, there was staff around, but I needed to go and ask the nurse something, and I went and tapped her because she had her head down. Obviously it was late, we're all tired. She had her head down, and I was like, oh, excuse me. And she was like, oh, it's okay, yes, can I help you? Like, immediately she just came to life. And there's some people that they like grog, you know, you tap them and they're like, oh, you know, that kind of thing. But she was like, oh, can I help you? What do you need? And she stood up straight away. She didn't sit down and, you know, like, was like, oh, yeah. She stood up and she was like, oh, is there anything that I can do for you? Like, so easy, like, man, I know I'm going on. But honestly, they made everything so easy for me. Seriously, guys, if you need a hospital, this is me saying what I'm saying because I've had an experience. And when you've had an experience like this, you speak from the heart. And honestly, I'm speaking from my heart. They were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. Like I said, I've been to that hospital before, so I know, like, the doctor in charge and stuff like that. And even when I called him, I said, oh, my son's gone to the hospital too. He was like, okay, it's fine. You know that, like, everybody kind of reassured you. And I'm not saying that because I feel like I had special treatment. I don't think I had special treatment because I saw other people in the hospital and they were getting the same treatment that I was getting. And it just felt, I don't know. They just did everything. They did everything they could. They answered to everything they could. Anytime they handed me a tablet, you know, I'm not really one for tablets and medicine and all that. But any questions that I had, they were able to answer them. They put every question that I had, they put me at ease with it. And I walked away from there and I felt great afterwards. You know, and even they didn't just let us go like that. They kind of like were like, okay, come back in a week's time, we'll do another checkup, follow up, just to make sure that everything is going well. But I mean, honestly, I feel good, and I I don't feel alone. I don't feel isolated in that sense, because sometimes, you know, when someone's sick, you can kind of feel a bit isolated, like, what do we do now? Like, because you don't know what to expect. But if anything was to happen, I know exactly where I'm going. And so that kind of brings a lot of comfort. Sorry, I'm not welling up. I'm just, I don't know. I think I'm still kind of like digesting from the whole experience, because like I say, it was a lot. But I really wanted to do this video just to share, because I know that some people you might have needs where you need a hospital that you can go to that has like a GP. They do that as well. So it's not only, you don't just go there if there is like an emergency. You can go there for like checkups and stuff like that. They do children, they do adults, they do everything. So honestly, as I said, I'm going to put the details into the description box as well, so you can check them out. But honestly, fantastic hospital. I love it. Very comfortable. Get your needs seen to. And so yeah, that's all I just came here to say. Basically, I just wanted to share my experience with you. And I would love to hear, guys, if you've had an experience in the hospital here, because let's be real, we've all heard these horror stories. But actually, how much of these stories are horror stories, really? Are they really horror stories? I don't know. If you've had one, let me know. I'd be very interested to hear it. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, guys, I am off now because I am really tired. I've hardly slept. I'm really, really, really tired. I'm absolutely knackered. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and calm down a bit. Well, I am calm. I'm just gonna try and like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just gonna try and just relax my brain a little bit, because it's been all over the place. My emotions have been all over the place, but like I said, it's all over now, so everything is all good. But yeah, what an experience. What an experience. So Bloom, well done. Thumbs up to you. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget to also do me a favor. Like, comment, and share this video for me. I would really appreciate it. Until next time, I am out. Nuti Papa.